Presentation of Science Trek on Idaho Public Television is made possible through the generous support of the Laura Moore Cunningham Foundation, committed to fulfilling the Moore family legacy of building the great state of Idaho.
When you toss something into the trash, science takes over. Scientists are finding ways to dispose of trash and protect the environment. We're here to answer your questions about garbage. Stay tuned. Science Trek is next. Hi, I'm Joan Cartan-Hansen, and welcome to Science Trek, and welcome to the Ada County Landfill. We're here to answer your questions about garbage, but before we do, let's learn a little bit more.
All right, Mom, I'll do it. I can't believe I always have to take out the trash.
The problem of dealing with garbage isn't new. People have always struggled with what to do with their trash.
Hey, what are you doing in there?
Want to find out where all your garbage goes?
Okay.
Americans create more garbage per capita than any other country in the world. 4.4 pounds for every man, woman, and child every day. That's a lot of garbage. And all that trash needs to go somewhere. Trucks like this collect trash from people's homes and businesses. This garbage is called municipal solid waste. Most garbage in this community goes to a dump, also known as a sanitary landfill. Here the garbage is buried. Sanitary landfills are usually far away from people, livestock, and water. That's because garbage can carry disease. Landfills have lots of rules that help protect the environment and keep all of us safe. Today, more than half of America's garbage ends up in landfills like this one. But there's a problem.
What?
We're running out of room. By 2050, some estimate humans will produce 29.4 billion tons of trash. We can't bury it all. Some garbage is taken to a waste-to-energy plant. A waste-to-energy plant burns the garbage to create energy. Waste-to-energy plants have been around since the late 1800s. Today, the United States burns about 17% of its solid waste. But burning garbage can cause problems for the environment, and we have so much trash we can't burn it all. We have to do something else with all our garbage. It's a real problem. But you can help, starting in your own home.
Whoa, that was wild. Now I see that garbage is a big problem. What can I do to help?
Well, we all have to cut down on how much trash we make. Start by reducing the amount of waste we produce in the first place. It's called source reduction. The second way to help is to reuse. For example, some places exchange filled milk bottles for empty ones. Then the dairy can clean and reuse the glass bottles, cutting down on the amount of waste. Finding creative ways to reuse our stuff means less garbage has to go to the landfills. The third way all of us can help solve the world's garbage problem is to recycle. Recycling means to use something again. Old metal cans are used to make new cans or other items that need metal. Old newspapers are recycled to make new newspapers. Lots of places give families special containers to sort recyclable items such as aluminum, plastics, and paper. These items are sometimes picked up along with the rest of the trash and sent off to be recycled. Other places have common containers where people can leave things to be picked up and recycled. It will take all of us working together to help the environment. You can help by remembering your 3 R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle. By doing that, you can make a difference in the world's waste problem.
Reduce, reuse, recycle. That's easy. Hey, Mom, have you heard of composting? It's a great way to reduce our amount of garbage.
And joining me now to answer your questions about garbage are Megan Durrell, Trash and Recycling Coordinator for the City of Boise, and Ted Hutchinson, Deputy Solid Waste Director for the Ada County Solid Waste Management. Thank you both for being here. I appreciate you joining us.
It's our pleasure to be here.
Ted, before we get started, can you tell us where we are?
We are at the Ada County landfill. We're sitting atop a pile of garbage that's about 85 feet thick in the North Ravine Cell landfill.
Thank you for hosting us. Okay, let's go to your questions.
Hi, my name is Indigo. I go to Anser Charter School, and my question is, how does garbage affect Earth's ecosystems?
I think the proper management of garbage is the key to not having an adverse impact on the ecosystem. Garbage can, as it decomposes, or the materials that are actually in the garbage, can cause pollution of not only soil but water and also our air. There's also possibility of diseases that are inside of garbage that can be carried by birds or other bugs, flies, that sort of thing, that can also adversely impact humans.
Well, garbage is an end result of our purchasing practices, and so we need to consider the waste before we call it garbage. We need to consider our consumptive practices, the natural resources that go into what we buy and what we use every day to exist. And the byproduct of that is garbage. So the impacts of what we buy and what we don't use fully and discard as garbage certainly has an impact on our environment, both during manufacturing and during disposal.
Hi, my name is Marley. I go to Hillcrest Elementary. Why does garbage smell?
Garbage smells because of the decomposition process. There are microbes and bacteria that live on garbage that as they consume the garbage, they create a byproduct, which tends to be the odors. The fresh trash smell, which I think most people are acquainted with, it smells like the inside of a garbage can. That's where there's oxygen present as the organic material decomposes. Then once the garbage has been placed in a landfill and compacted and the oxygen around that trash has been used up, it will go to an anaerobic decomposition where the byproduct is landfill gas, a very unique smell, and it's rather pungent and not very pleasant, but it's very unique to landfills, but that's a byproduct of the decomposition of organic materials.
Hi, my name is Jackie and I'm from Mason Elementary. My question is, where does garbage go at the dump?
The garbage goes in the dump, actually, when it's brought up in a variety of vehicles, particularly trash trucks that go through neighborhoods or to the businesses to pick up the garbage. It is taken to the landfill where it's dumped in a specific area where it's crushed and buried. In fact, where we are right now is we're sitting atop a pile of garbage that's about 85 feet thick.
Brooke would like to know, why do we separate trash and recyclables?
We separate trash from recycling mostly to make it easiest to identify what can be recycled and what cannot. It makes the system more efficient if the recycling is put in one pile and the trash is put in another pile, and they make their way to their destinations in sort of a clean form, a category. It's kind of like doing your laundry. It's a lot easier if you sort it before you get to the washing machine than to try and sort it on top of the washing machine. So you want to keep those things separate. It also helps you to know how much do I have of the recycling and how much do I have of the trash. It kind of goes into the whole system of how can we best, most efficiently, most affordably provide trash and recycling services.
Hi, I'm Francis and I go to Answer Charter School, and my question, is there any way to get rid of garbage other than putting it in a landfill?
There are lots of alternatives. One of the best ways to manage your solid waste is not turn it into a waste, but see if there's a way to recycle the material. But if you do have waste, if it's not put in a landfill, typically it is sent to an incinerator for destruction in the waste generation. But right now those are primary technologies that I know of. It's either mass burn or landfill.
The best management of waste is to not create it at all. To just try to use as little as possible, reuse as much as possible, then recycle, and then when all else fails, then throw your items away. There are options in different communities for how that garbage is disposed of. It might be a landfill, it might be an incinerator, it might be a gasification or arc plasma technology, and there's technologies developing all the time and ways to make our garbage more manageable in high technology type situations. there are always consequences and considerations. So the best approach to waste management is to not create it at all.
Gabe would like to know, how does garbage decompose in the ground?
Garbage decomposes as a natural process. The organic material will decompose or break down. There are actually microbes and bacteria on the trash that will consume the organic materials in the trash. It also is subjected to things like oxidation, where it rusts and where it combines with oxygen, and the metals will break down. And there are also some chemical reactions within a landfill that also will break down the material that's in the landfill. But the primary way that garbage breaks down in the landfill is that organic decomposition.
What product takes up the most space in U.S. landfills? It's paper. Paper doesn't degrade easily buried in landfills. It can last for decades. So put paper in the recycling bin, not the trash. Brody asks, why does a garbage truck crush the garbage?
Garbage that's collected curbside from your home is put into a compacting truck and is crushed to maximize the space on the truck to make more stops in your neighborhood. So we compact it to make more room to be more efficient.
And the more they pick up at the neighborhood before they come off the route to bring it to the landfill, the more efficient it is, the less impact to the environment through air pollution as it travels from the neighborhoods back and forth to the landfill. So if you can compact it more and get more into the truck, they make fewer trips up to the dump.
Hi, I'm Elise and I'm from Answer Charter School. I'm wondering what recycling does for our health and the health of our earth.
Recycling is a great alternative to just throwing your things away. Recycling is a process of turning one product into something new and reusing it for a long, long time. It means not harvesting more trees and not mining more raw materials. It's about resource conservation is built into recycling, and that is good for the environment no matter how you look at it.
And by recycling, it keeps it out of the landfill where it will go through a natural decomposition process. There's also chemical processes within a landfill that can combine into products that can be hazardous to human health or the environment. So if you keep those things out of the landfill, there's less impact on our environment. Get it back into the reuse rather than just throwing it away.
Isaac would like to know, why do we bury garbage?
We bury our garbage as a function of our society. We've got to manage the material that we're throwing away. We don't want to just leave it out where the wind will blow it around and the animals will carry it off. We do need to make sure that we control where that material goes and how it's managed for the long term. It works best for our society to have one place where the trash goes. It's very cheap to landfill it. However, there are other alternatives out there that do cost a bit more. Things like waste to energy or gasification of garbage to get a fuel for electrical cogeneration. But those tend to be some very expensive alternatives. Hopefully there'll be a technology change over time that will remove the necessity to put trash into a landfill.
Hi, my name is Kaylin. I'm from Basin Elementary. My question is, how do garbage trucks get all the garbage in one day?
There are a lot of garbage trucks that pick up garbage each day. So typically we'll take a neighborhood, we'll carve it up like a pie into equal portions, and then we'll make sure that we have the right number of trucks and the right amount of staff to be able to collect your garbage on your collection day of the week. So we don't pick up every household on Monday. We pick up 1/5 of the households in your community on Monday and another 1/5 on Tuesday, and we divide it up.
Hi, my name is Ian. I come from Basin Elementary. My question is, how does recycling work?
Recycling is the process of turning an item into something new, to remanufacture it into something new. So, for example, an aluminum can first had your soda pop in it, and then you recycled it into the screen that's in your screen door on your front of your house. So the process of recycling usually involves water and energy and other elements to turn what was once a piece of paper into toilet paper or Kleenex. And each process is unique to the type of material it is and what's required of it to make that new product from the old product.
Jackson would like to know, why can't we recycle all waste products?
The potential to recycle everything exists, but what it takes is someone to develop an idea that uses that material and then to be able to put that material through its manufacturing process and have people buy the product. It's supply and demand.
It's just basically a function of economics too, that if there's not a demand for a material, it doesn't get recycled. It is then what we classify currently as a waste material, and we tend to throw that away in the landfill. But if you can develop a product that has a value to it so that it's not, it makes more sense to recycle it rather than waste it, then you've got your recyclable commodity instead of a waste product.
Recycling and finding new uses for our trash are good ways to reduce the amount of waste in our landfills. The city of Boise collects glass in homes in designated bins and dumps it into a giant pile at a special collection site. Joining me now is Chris Nelson with Environmental Abrasives.
Yes.
So what happens when they dump the glass here? What happens next?
It goes from here. We pick it up in a little loader, little Bobcat, and we run it through this primary system here. It breaks up the coarse bottles, brings them down into a sort of a medium mixture that we can then process into our final product, which is abrasive sand. So then we take it over here to these piles, and those piles over there are probably a week's worth of running this little plant. So ideally, we would make that pile in a day, and then we'd process through that pile in a day. We'll then move it from that pile into that green bin, and it basically runs through that circuit all the way over to this house over here where we have a final screening process, and it screens it down into our final products, which we have 3 main products that we create, and they're all made there, and then they go off to our main bagging facility for processing to final packaging.
And what are the end products used for?
What we produce is abrasive sand that's used in the sandblasting industry, and that industry is a rather vast industry. Anybody who paints, anybody who coats, and when I say coat, they, whether it be bridges or cars or auto parts, abrasive sands are used to first blast off old stuff and prep the surface for whatever coating you're going to put on it, paint or clear or whatever it is you're going to do, powder coating.
The crew has to run the crushed glass through the screening process several times because people put things other than glass into the recycling bins.
You can see this is how we get it. Unfortunately, people throw boxes, paper, plastic bags. We've had mattresses, carpet rolls, you name it, it's been in there. And it just upsets the process. We have to actually manually pull that stuff out, and it takes a lot of labor. So the cleaner the collection can be, the more efficient the process can be.
Why is it important to recycle glass?
If you can imagine, these bottles all end up buried in the dirt somewhere. And when we take this bottle and produce it into an abrasive sand, we collapse this and make it, if this were, say, 1 cup of glass, by the time we produce it, we get it all the way down to probably something less than 1 ounce. And by the time it's thrown away at the end, we would hope it's less than 10% of its original volume.
Chris, thank you very much. I appreciate the tour.
You're welcome.
Okay, let's go back to your questions.
Hello, my name is Laura, and I go to Answer Charter School, and I was wondering what makes something recyclable?
Something's recyclable if there is a demand or a market for the product that is left over after it's been used for its original purpose.
The challenge is to be an inventor, to create an idea and develop a new product that takes a resource that isn't currently recycled, that you can, and an inventor would then take that product and dream up something new with it. And that's kind of how recycling is created, is that someone has an idea, they see it through, and then as consumers we shop for and buy those products that are made from recycled and reclaimed materials. And that closes the loop on the recyclability of any material.
And to go one step further with that, after it's not just the new product that you're making out of the materials that we're not recycling now, but to come up with a brand new product where the only material source for that product is actually buried in your old landfill. Then you mine out your old landfill, get the materials back out, and truly recycle that stuff that has presumably been wasted in the landfill. So a real challenge to develop that new technologies, both on the new product and on the long-range technologies.
James would like to know, how do we dispose of batteries properly?
Batteries, if they're rechargeable, are very easily recycled. There are a lot of stores and retail outlets that will actually take back rechargeable batteries. They are typically considered a hazardous waste if they're not properly disposed of. So it's best to have them collected and shipped to a battery recycling facility. There are some batteries that, alkaline batteries, that those are no longer recycled. Those actually just end up in the trash.
Davis asks, why can't biohazards go into the garbage?
Biohazards are typically contaminated with a pathogen that can cause damage to human health. And so we don't want that put into our landfill where it could be carried off by a bird or have a fly land on it and then carry that pathogen, that disease-causing material away from the landfill. So before biohazard material can be disposed of, it either is run through an autoclave where it is heated to a temperature that will destroy the bacteria or the pathogen that's on it, or typically sent to an incinerator where it's destroyed. But it's just for the general safety of the public that we prevent biohazard materials from our landfill.
Hi, my name is Drake and I'm from Basin Elementary. And my question is, how much garbage fills a garbage truck?
The average garbage truck in our community is between 20 and 25 compacted cubic yards.
Abby asked, why is compost a great fertilizer?
Compost is a natural product that feeds other plants. So when leaves break down and turn into compost, it feeds the soil and it makes the soil rich with nutrients, and it provides for air pockets and places for moisture to retain to actually feed the plants and feed the worms and the other organisms that live within the soil.
It also helps by being a weed barrier. A lot of compost materials are naturally effective at reducing the amount of weeds or the health of a weed that's growing in among a desired plant.
Hi, my name is Mackenzie from Answer Charter School, and I was wondering if scientists are coming up with a way to decompose garbage that is not naturally decomposing.
Yes, a lot of the plastic materials that are made in today's markets have been, the original chemical composition of those was designed for longevity. The scientists have been working very diligently at coming up with new compounds that make the same basic plastic structure or other materials that will actually decompose much more quickly than some of the earlier stages of that material.
Technology is always being developed to help us manage our waste streams. There's plasma technology, and even incineration, which is an old technology today, is another way to manage wastes that don't naturally decompose. We're also inventing new products all the time that are called biodegradable, or they're product substitutions. It may look like plastic, but it's actually made from cornstarch, and it's a biodegradable material. Despite properties that look and act like plastic, it actually is a natural product that can biodegrade under the right conditions.
Megan, before we run out of time, let me ask you a question. Why did you decide to pick a job that deals with garbage?
Well, I studied environmental science in college, and I first had this grand hope of studying trees and fish and rivers and streams, and I found this job in solid waste for the city of Boise, and I thought, what's this? And I realized that is a natural resource that will forever need to be managed, and that I can make a bigger impact by helping manage garbage and promote recycling than in preserving our environment. I can make a bigger difference that way than I could maybe anywhere else.
And Ted, if someone is interested in doing this for a living, what should he or she study in school?
Actually, solid waste management covers a huge variety of educational backgrounds and experiences. It covers all sorts of engineering, electrical engineers, structural engineers, civil engineers, all of the trades, plumbing, electric, everything, environmental studies, chemistry, biology. It's all part of a solid waste management system. If one is just interested in even equipment operators, there's a lot of demand for that. So basically anything that's going to add to one's experience and background, education, will definitely be a big help if they're looking for a job in solid waste management.
I'm sorry we've run out of time. I appreciate you both joining us today.
It's been our privilege.
Thanks for the opportunity.
You can learn lots more about garbage and lots of other different science topics on the Science Trek website. We'll answer more questions about garbage on Science Trek, the web show. And if you want to submit a question to Science Trek, it's easy, and you and your class can win prizes. You can send it as an email or as a video question, recorded on your webcam or cell phone. And if you're an educator, we'll even lend you a camera. Our last prize winner was Allie in Mrs. Pierce's class at Spring Valley Elementary in Durham, North Carolina. So to find out all about garbage, how to send in your questions, and how to win, go to the Science Trek website. And each week, check out my blog for the latest science news for kids. You'll find it all at idahoptv.org/science-trek. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time on Science Trek.
Presentation of Science Trek on Idaho Public Television is made possible through the generous support of the Laura Moore Cunningham Foundation, committed to fulfilling the Moore family legacy of building the great state of Idaho.
If you want to learn more about this topic or watch our videos, check out the Science Trek website at idahoptv.org/science-trek.